Hi everyone, I'm Donna Stellhorn, your practical astrologer, and today we are talking about the lunar eclipse. It's on March 13 or March 14, depending on the time zone you are, so it's around midnight. And in this chart, the sun makes a conjunction with Saturn. Additionally, Mercury is going to go retrograde on March 14 or March 15, depending on your time zone. Again, it's around midnight. So what does this all mean for you? That's what we're going to talk about. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. Just to let you know what we're going to be doing, we're going to do a short overview, and then we're going to look at your sign in particular. We'll talk about love and then money. And so if you haven't already, please subscribe. And by the way, if you want a PDF of your chart so you can follow along on these videos, then reach out to me. There's a link in the description and I will send you that PDF. So for this lunar eclipse, there's definitely an emphasis on letting go of something. And ideally that would be fears, worries, insecurities, doubts. And then it's also about embracing that Sun-Saturn connection. And that is about grit and determination. When we put the Sun and Saturn together in Pisces, it's almost like creating a spiritual path for yourself, just like the spiritual masters of old, where they let go of certain things in their lives so that they would have an uninterrupted journey towards spiritual enlightenment. So this particular lunar eclipse is at 23 degrees of Virgo, and all eclipses close doors, and so this is closing the door on some Virgo aspect of your life. Now, it's usually that you wished for this, that you were hoping that some part of your life would change, and now the universe is fulfilling that request, even though this may not feel like the timing is right, or that you have it in the budget, or that it is unfolding like you envisioned. Now, this full moon / eclipse is opposite the Sun and Saturn. And the best way to deal with Saturn is to lean in and to work hard and to have grit and determination and to set the bar very high for yourself and then strive to get over that bar, exceed the expectations, and then Saturn is your friend. So this Sun and Saturn in Pisces is asking us to take a holistic view of our life and to treat our lives with respect and reverence. And that is to treat your body like a temple and give your mind the time and the space to think its own thoughts, to be kind to yourself, to do the things that will help you live in the present and feel better, and that will radiate outward to your community. And so that means that you're going to feel better, more prosperous, healthier, happier, and everyone around you will as well. Okay, Cancer, this lunar eclipse is asking you to think differently, to change your mind about some ideas, to look at old things that you've been carrying around in your mind and let them go. Now, one of your superpowers is how much you care. You care about your family, your friends, and your community. And that's wonderful. And what's happening is that maybe you are feeling less optimistic. Maybe you are feeling burdened by the news out in the world. And it's time to let this go, to understand that changes in the world have to happen. And as things change, as some things fall away, then, that becomes the fertilizer for new growth. So you have to deal with the things around you, of course, but sometimes what you're doing is you're pulling in and trying to protect everybody that you care about and absorbing all of the negativity that they may be feeling. And so this is some of the stuff that you need to let go of, to just say, you know what, because we're together, because we love each other, we're going to be okay. And to do things to support each other. And if you are giving lots of love to people who are not supporting you, then it may be time to let go of those people, at least for the time until they recognize the value of what they're getting in the relationship with you. Now, Mars is in your own sign, and this gives you lots of energy and opportunities to meet people who can be very supportive, who will give you advice, who will give of their time and their energy. They can give you material support. So lean on that Mars by starting to take some action in a direction, and then you will find people who want to help you. Now, when it comes to love relationships, specifically new love, the moon's not making an aspect with Pluto, but it's making a lovely sextile with Mars. And so there is some really positive relationship energy here. You've got a lot of planets elevated, which means you're quite visible. And because we've got a couple of planets that will be retrograde during this 2 weeks, it is quite possible this is going to be a connection that you met them before, or you lived on the same street for a time, but you didn't meet, or you had talked online, but you didn't get that first date in, and now they're back and looking for love. And then when it comes to existing love relationships, the moon's making an opposition with Saturn, and when we do an opposition, then we want the two parties to come together to meet in the middle. That might mean that there's some compromises going on or some concessions on either side, but you can find that common ground. And so, like any sort of negotiation, you want to give a little and then ask for a little, and you can find a place where the two of you come together to make this relationship stronger. And if you want to know what's up for you and your partner or anything in your life over the next year or two, I do readings. There's a link in the description. Now, when it comes to your money, you pull money from the sun, which is sitting there with Saturn, and this says, go do the hard stuff. So what is the hard stuff? The hard stuff is the stuff you don't know how to do. And that is, maybe something about the website, or maybe it's about investing and sitting down and going through prospectuses and, learning about investing, or, knocking on a relative's door who really knows their stuff about money and say, teach me to budget, teach me, how to maximize my 401k. It's about the paperwork and kind of the, getting in the weeds. And when you do, you're going to discover that there are valuable plants in those weeds, and that's what brings in the money. Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, the sun's making a nice sextile with Uranus. That means there's more opportunities for you to make additional money over this next 2 weeks. A sextile means you have to take some sort of action, and now we know what the action is. It's the climb. It's doing the thing you've been procrastinating on, but that will stimulate the energy and bring you opportunities. Now, when it comes to money derived from career, so that would be a paycheck, the sun's not making an aspect with Venus. So it's likely this is not the right time to ask about a raise, especially because Venus is retrograde now. So there may be some reorganization going on. There may be some disruption in just your company itself. And so this is less of a time to do this. Now, if you are looking for a new job, this Venus retrograde could bring you an opportunity that you had in the past that maybe fell through, or perhaps it was a place you worked for in the past and you want to go back there, or someone you worked with before is now at a place that has openings. So there are some opportunities by looking at something you did before. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Consider signing up for my newsletter where I talk about astrological happenings every week. And if you would like to know personally what is up for you in 2025 and 2026, I do readings. There's a link in the description, and I will see you in the next video.